We brought you our Fox 6 Cents story. Today's subject is financial failsafes.
Yeah, joining us now to talk about this, it is Suzanne Hoeppner, the Chief Operating Officer at Ampersand. This is such an interesting topic. We think we put our money into a bank, and then we assume the money is safe in the bank. Not always the case. 11 banks in Wisconsin closed last year. Is that a lot?
Since 2000.
Since 2000. I was like, that would be a lot.
That would be a lot.
When you get the number. But still, okay, 11 in the last couple decades. Yeah.
Yes. Well, obviously, a bank failure is going to have an impact on any community, but like any business, they can fail. And so in 2008, for example, over 500 banks failed during the financial crisis. So relatively speaking, I think Wisconsin's doing pretty well. We are known for having very safe and sound banks in Wisconsin. We also have great resources for ourselves, or for the banks. The Wisconsin Bankers Association is an advocate for our banks. They are the voice for regulatory concerns. The banks can use them for legal issues.
But as someone who's depositing my money, if I see that sticker, FDIC, does that mean we're safe?
Well, yes, up to a certain point. So the FDIC, if it's an FDIC-insured institution, the FDIC is there to help protect and if the bank should fail. But that's only up to certain limits, up to $250,000 per depositor per institution. So anything over that, you may or may not have your money protected and may not get it all back.
Oh, wow.
I think it's great you're saying Wisconsin banks are safe, but it's interesting because a lot of times now we are banking online. We don't even know where the banks are, and many times they are not in Wisconsin. So when we're picking banks, what advice do you give to people to know that it's safe?
I think the best way to ensure that your funds are safe are working directly with the bank. But I know that online banks are very attractive. They have great platforms. They offer products and services that maybe your community bank doesn't offer. Checking to make sure that they are an FDIC member is super important, and understanding where they are. But that's also a problem in not having a direct relationship with them.
Right.
So if a life event comes up, there's nowhere for you to go to have a face-to-face conversation. If you need to get cash above what your ATM limit is for the day, there's not a local presence of them. So there's drawbacks to it for sure. But I think if you do your due diligence and, again, ensure that they are an FDIC-insured institution, that's where you need to start.
So are there online banks that aren't FDIC?
Yes, there are. And although if they are a member of FDIC, they will display that on their website.
Okay, so look for that, definitely.
Yes.
But it's good to hear that advice to me. FDIC, and make sure you're having that. It's not. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Find a human to ask them. Right?
Absolutely. That's what they're there for.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, because I know a lot of people are still kind of like antsy about putting their money sometimes in banks, and so this, I think, kind of explains a lot of the regulation and the safety that's there if it's FDIC.
Or what we're about to do, take all our money out of the bank for Christmas and Thanksgiving to buy some
Right.
stuff.
That's very true.
But when we put it back. All right, Suzanne, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And if you have missed any of Brett Lemoyne's Fox 6 Cents stories, we have them on our website, fox6now.com. You can also find them under Fox 6 Cents. There's a tab on Fox Local, our free TV streaming app.